Okay, RPG tutorial part 5. Hooray! This is getting long. Um, I put in some basic objects. I'm going to show you how to do 3 main things in this video. One of them is making it look 3D, and there's a special way to make them collide with objects to do that. Another one is entering a building, and the third thing is adding music. And music, that's not very hard. Most of you probably already know how to do that, but I'm gonna show you just in case, just for the people who don't. First, I'll show you how to collide with objects. So, I have a special way of doing this. I don't know how other people do it. I don't know if there's some other way of doing it, but this is just how I like to do it. So, you insert an active, and I like to make it a red box. It doesn't really matter what color it is because it's not going to be seen. It's going to be invisible. And then you drag it over the thing that you want him to be able to collide with. And the reason I'm not making him just collide with the object is because then he would collide like this, and then it doesn't look very good. It doesn't look 3D. He can't, and plus he can't get into the door. So what you want to do, I've still got a little bit of that cough. That's mainly gone away, but I still got a little bit of it, so hopefully that won't be that big of a problem. But what you want to do is make it like that, so that he can come to the side of it, so he can be on the side of it. And then you want to add a qualifier to it, edit, add, and I'm gonna make it foreground scenery because that makes the most sense to me. And then see, let's clone this because we want to make it a certain shape so that he can get to the door. We'll make the when I show you how to make him go inside, I'll make the sensor for him to go into the door. But for now, we're just gonna make it so he can get farther forward when he goes to the door. And now we have to make a new condition that says new condition when he collides another object with the tree, which is the foreground scenery. So that means all of these things. Movements. Oh wait, not that. Hero movement stop. Okay. So now, oh wait, we have to first make it so that we click on this blue thing and uncheck visible at start so that the things are invisible. So now, oh no, I can't get in. I can't go through the house. And also, he can go closer in the door. See? And then when we make it so he can go inside, we'll put a little sensor right here that'll let him go into the house. But we're not up to that yet because there's still one more thing I have to show you about colliding with objects. And that is with this guy, we want him to be able to go like that, but we also want to make it so he can go behind the horse. So what you want to do is, considering this is a background, you can't make him go behind it because it's a background. So what I do is I create a new layer, and to make layers you have to go to view, toolbars, and then check layers toolbar. Otherwise, because it usually isn't shown when you first get in. So you go to layers, you make a new layer, and then you basically cut this in half. And you take off the bottom, and then you take off the top of this one. And then this should be on layer number 2. Well, this is on layer number 1. That way it will be on 2 different layers, and that way this one can be in front. So look, when he goes, and you can make that be more like formed together better when you actually make your game, but I'm not going to spend too much time on that because this is just a tutorial. So now see, he can go in front of it, behind it I mean, and he can go in front of it. but now we have to make it so he collides with it. So clone object and make a little line. The reason we don't do this with the house is because the house is a whole thing. It's not like that where it's like skinny and tall. So we just keep it like that for the house. And make sure anything that he collides with, meaning these blocks, all blocks have to be on the same layer as the guy. Otherwise, he can't interact with anything that's not on his layer. So we'll make it like that. A little bit bigger. And now he can collide with this horse. See? Collide. And he can go behind it. See? And this way, because if you make it where he collides with it, even if it's like 5 feet above him, it just makes it really hard to get around the game, and it makes the game not look very good. So you want to do this. I'm not going to worry about colliding with the girls because this is just a tutorial. I'm going to move on to, let me show you how to add music real quick because that won't take that long. So, conditions, new condition, I like to do start a frame. If you want, you can do instead music is music not playing. But if you do that, you can't make there be any other music other than this music. So I like to do start a frame, it's just easier. And then you do music. You probably want to do play and loop music unless you want to do like some kind of playlist or something. Just do play and loop the music, and then browse from a file. And you should have, if you downloaded the thing right, you should have pre-made stuff. This is stuff I downloaded that's not in yours. This is the stuff that comes with Multimedia Fusion 2. I also have some other stuff that I downloaded in here, but all the stuff in capitalized letters you'll have. So I'll just pick something, Fastlane, and I'll put 0 so that it's continuous loop. See, up here it says continuous loop. Okay, and now if I press F7, oh my god, it's Fastlane! Oh, okay, I'm gonna turn that off because we don't need. We'll have to listen to that every time we test it. Okay, so now you know how to add music. But one more thing I should show you about music is, if I can find it, there is an option that you probably want to look at. I can find the option. Here, play sounds over frames. Because a lot of times, if you want the same music to be playing throughout your entire game, and you don't want it to stop if it changes frames, or if the guy ends the game or whatever, if he gets to a game over screen or something, if the frame changes, you want to do play sounds over frames so that the music doesn't stop. It just plays until you tell it to stop. So now we have the music. Now I'm going to show you how to go into buildings. So he can walk into a house and come out of the house. With a lot of online RPGs, they just make it where you just see the walls of the house, and it's just you see a floor and you actually go into it and it's the same frame. But on RPGs that aren't online, they usually do something like they do like Pokemon, for example. You go and it changes to a different frame and you see yourself inside the house. So I'm going to do that kind because that's more common. So go to your frame editor and create a new frame. Doesn't matter what it looks like. I'll just go back to RPG furniture and just put some wooden floor down so it looks a little bit better. And now we have the inside house. So what we want to do is, if you want, what you can do is, if you don't like just having a black thing here, you can go to RPG, I'm pretty sure it's an outdoor, yeah, here, and get the door here, and just put it there. Just put it there and position it and stuff. I'm not going to have that, because this is just a tutorial. So insert a new object, and this is going to be a lot like the red thing, because it's not going to be visible. I'm going to make it a different color so we can tell it from the red thing, though. Let's make it this color, say. Okay. And then make it pretty skinny, and put it right here across the door, so that, and now we make it so new condition hero collision, another object, the blue thing. Okay, it jumps to this frame. Okay, so now let's try it. Be sure to press F8 when you're testing more than one frame, because F7 only shows one frame at a time. So if you press F7 and you do an event that's supposed to lead you to a different frame, it just closes the application. That's why you're supposed to press F8. And we actually have to make that invisible, but I'll do that in a minute. Let me just test it first. So now he collides with it. Oh my god, it's inside. And you would have to add the player in here, but it doesn't really matter because this is a tutorial. So now you can make it so he goes inside. So let me make this invisible real quick. Now, the last part of this tutorial, I'm just going to show, to sum it all up, I'm going to show you an example of an RPG that I made myself, because I'm awesome and I can make stuff. A sample RPG, just to give you a basic example of what your game could look like. Don't make it exactly like it, because then it's not your game. If I can find it, I'm pretty sure it's this one. No, that's not it. Let's see. No, it's called RPG. Yeah, this might be it. Yeah, this is it. Okay. So as you can see, I have an place where he starts, the inn. He can with lots of different collisions. And then we have scene 1 village, scene 2 village, scene 3 village. This is a work in progress. Actually, it's not done. This is another guy's house. I don't have with the trees that I showed you with the thing. I didn't spend too much time with that because it's just an example. You should probably do that though, how I showed you, so we can go behind the tree. So here, let me just show you it. We got music. It's pretty cool. And see, we got objectives over here. It says talk to the innkeeper, so I'm gonna go do that. That's this girl over here. And then I got a little girl in the bed because this is an inn. And we got her candles on, and none of the other candles are on, as you can see. So what I made it is when he comes up with him, and it makes a little sound when he collides with the little sensor I had made. Oh, you're up. Seems your friend over there is still sleeping. Enter. Are you alright? I found you unconscious right outside the village. Oh, good. Do you remember what happened before you went out? You shake your head. That won't do. Well, hopefully your friend will remember when she comes to. Until then, you're free to roam the village. If you want to know more about this place, you should talk to Fisherman Oppo. Oh, can you lock the door on your way out, please? And see, in the objectives, it now says talk to Fisherman Oppo at the pond. And now, see, I collide with the door, and now I'm outside. And see, I gave each house a little number. Now, I have a little girl swinging, and here's the pond, and there's Oppo, the little old guy. Oh, hello, innkeeper Sarah told me about you, young one. Would you like to know more about this village? You nod. Wonderful. Well, I'll do so briefly, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go through all this. The reason I spent so much time on this is because I'm actually going to make it into a game eventually. Eventually. It's still a work in progress, as I said. It says find Fisherman Oppo's key somewhere in the village, and now I have a little thing where it tells you a clue as to where to find Oppo's key, and where if you go close to this girl, it says that she's singing shiny, 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 shiny in the well, which obviously gives you the clue that the key is probably in the well. You want to give clues because you don't want to make it just random where it is, because otherwise it makes the game too hard. And uh, a lot of times when you're playing a game, you probably experience this where you're playing a game and you just get stuck and you're stuck somewhere and you can't figure out how to get past this one part in the game, and then it just ruins the game because you can't get any further. So you don't want to make those mystery parts too hard. So if you collide with a well, there's something in here. Oh, there's a key. Oh my god. And now the objectives change to return Oppo's key to Fisherman Oppo. And you see when he collides, there's a little key animation where he gets the key. And it destroys the key. And now what I did was it changes an alterable value that says that he now has the key. So now that when he collides with Fisherman Oppo, oh, hello again. Did you find my key? You're not splendid. I can finally get back into my house. I'm a man of my word, so why don't you meet me there? And I'll tell you the story of this amazing village. My address is 141. And now it's on to a different frame. It's a different sequence. I had to do that so that I could make it so Fisherman Oppo is no longer there. You could just destroy him, but I just thought it'd be simpler because I needed to go to a different one anyways. So now talk to Oppo in his house, address 141. So now I have to look for house 141. There it is. In all the other houses, nothing happens when you collide with them because they're all locked. And now we're in Oppo's house. It's pretty special. Now, collide with Oppo. Oh, there you are. How do you like my house? I think I need to find something to fill up this. Okay, this is really long, so I'm not going to go through a lot of it. He tells about the village and stuff. Okay, so now the objectives change to talk to Katie. You can find her near the pond, and you'll find out that she's the girl on the swing, and she took Oppo's key in the first place. And that's all I have so far. I don't have where you can talk to her yet. I will, hopefully soon. I'm actually working on an MMORPG right now, so this might take a while before I actually finish anything with this game. Actually, let me show you that real quick, because I want to show you the character customizer that I made that might help you with your game a little bit. So if you're gonna make an MMORPG, or if you just want to have a character customizer in your game. So let's see if I can find it. MMORPG 2. And I haven't done much with this game. Still working with it. Basically, I'm using formations of the RPG stuff. But this is just the beginning. This is just me messing around with the map. This is all that I've really completed. And see, if you press F7, it goes to full screen because it's an MMORPG, so you want it to be full screen. And you can change the hairstyle. See, it changes basketball player, short, faux hawk, spiked, hat hair, gothic, bald. And then you can see the cool thing about this is I made it so you can change the color to anything you want. The hair color and the wrists and the shirt color number 1 and shirt color number 2. See? And you can change the shirt style and everything. I'm not going to go into showing you how to do the color switcher thing because that's complicated. But basically, you just create, for this stuff, you just create buttons. And what I did, if I can get out of this, what I did was, for the character customizer is, for this part, I made it so you have these different, you have frames, and the frame speed is 0, so it doesn't go on by itself. And when the player presses a button, it goes to the next frame, you know. Bald is nothing, obviously, because it's bald. So you have the different frames, and what you would do in the game is, this might seem like a lot of work, but this is actually how MMORPGs do it. This just goes to show how hard it is to make an MMORPG. What you have to do is you have to make a different set of animations for everything, for the hair, for the facial hair. Like when you make it as big as the player, so you make sure it's in, so that you can make sure it's in the right place all the time. and you basically make the hair on the player, and then you erase the player, so it's just the hair. And then you do the same with the shirt and the same with the pants and everything. What I did with the pants to make it more simple is I just made it the same pants, and it just changes the color. Um, uh, that's basically how you make a character customizer. It's not that hard. Um, and then you would change the alterable values when he presses OK. Like you change it to all the frames, and it's depending on the frames that it's on, you change the alterable values. I'm not gonna go into too much to detail with this because this is on MMORPGs, which is different from RPGs, which is what I'm focusing on right now. um, I want to show you before I finish up this whole tutorial 2 sites that I like to use. One of them is called Game Builder, which is a great site. I'm a big member on it. I have like 2,000 points or something, and points are basically how much contribution you have. You got these are all games made with MMF2, and they have competitions and everything. You can win money if you're really good at it. You got all these different games that people made. If you go to games and software, you have 2 different game things to explore: games and software and arcade. Arcade is games that were made that have the people are they had bought the Flash converter off ClickTeam.com, and they made Flash games and they put it on the arcade. So in order to get in the arcade, it has to be a Flash game, or a Java game. But there's not that many Java games because Java games kind of suck. If you want to look up any of my games, my username is JokeMan248. You can just look that up in the search box up here. We got all these different games. There's tons of new ones right now because the 20 event competition, the 20th anniversary or something like that competition was just finished. So there's tons of new games for that. You have the arcade here. I'll show you that. And then the good thing about this site is you can you can post your own games. It doesn't matter if you're good or not. You can post your own games. You can the good thing about it is you get feedback. So people comment on it, say how good it is, give ideas. You can go to the forums and ask questions. You can get like graphics from other people. They can make graphics for you if you ask them nicely. You have resources here, which is graphics and music and stuff that you can download for your game. You got mainly graphics and music. You got some coding too. That shows you, and then there's tutorials here, which is mainly videos, and it's links to videos that will help you. These are I have all my RPG games here, right here. I haven't, obviously part 5 isn't up here yet because I'm making it right now. This is a great site. I like to use it. And then another site I want to show you is called the Sprite's Resource. This is a great site, and here's the link up. Here's the thing up here. I'll put these 2 links in the description. The Sprite's Resource is great because it gives you tons of sprites for your game, and they're extracted from other games, which don't use this site if you're gonna get money off your game or something, because that would be copyright. All this copyright crap goes into that. So see, you have sprites from all these different games. If you type in, let's say, Maple Story, I like to use those because they're so good graphics for platformer games. If you type in Maple Story, you get I don't know if you guys have played that game before. Maple Story, you get all the different graphics from Maple Story. And see, if I click on one, let's say, let me get to a monster because those are simpler. If you click on one, say orange mushroom, you have the animations for the orange mushroom. You have idle, walking, what you basically, and hit and dying. And basically, to make this, you would copy this picture into a background, and then you copy each frame one by one, and you erase all the pink stuff in the background and stuff, and you and you basically make the animation. That's basically how you do that. try to get simpler ones unless you want to make it like really complex. Like for the main character, for instance, you would have the sprite sheet would be like huge because it has so many different animations, kicking, punching, all that stuff depending on the game. So that's basically it. That's the conclusion of all my tutorials. Hope this helped. Okay, bye bye now.